couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
Where the afternoon grows late, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people walk home. Street lights will soon be lit. Further inland, the streets are alive with workers, men, women, children, street hawks and migrant laborers. The temperature is steady. Alto cumulus clouds form above Precinct 41.
Always waiting. For her to return.
Her who?
Girl, child, revolution. Always. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore. However, it's not an island. What? It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender. The congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an AA gun to defend against an airborne landing, against the whole world. Treated Operation Deathblow. I later found out, on the radio, they called it Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone.
DRCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns. No wonder. All your minds are rotting from the radio waves. I watched the traitors of this city turn the lights back on. More and more each year. Ruins glittering in the dark like a fucking merry-go-round. It's disgusting.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol. Rock and roll posturing. You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste Insolente, a future human. not a human of the past.
He nods slowly, then another tremor.
You're inert lumpen with a gun.
Detective, we have not come here to discuss ideology. We have come to ask questions regarding a murder investigation.
The old man spits into the fire pit. He does not say anything more. A jitter passes his lower body. The expression on his face is unreadable. There's some sort of interference there. Neurological?
It was hard in the Thames. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequencies dead.
The right type and the right calibre.
He's liking this.
I wonder how old it is.
The old man does not answer. He just stares in front of him. The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. Some kind of involuntary response. Something is slightly off with his motorics. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession. In time.
I've used it for killing people.
Here we go. A trail of blood. The lieutenant smells it too.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war. Class war is never over.
This is it. You can feel it, like battery acid on the tip of your tongue. Something you haven't felt in a while. But this is what you live for.
It's a real gun, not like your little musketeer pistols. I've seen you prance around with those, jumping hoops for the liberals. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going against automatic rifles with these toy guns. Of course you got those boys killed.
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
You didn't handle anything. I watched it happen. You let those fucks rip right into them. Got that girl killed, too. None of those people mean anything to you. The vultures feed on this city, and you prepare the meal for them.
You're getting diverted. Push the gun. Only the gun matters.
So you watched the fight? Did you like what you saw? The mayhem. It was all your doing, your plan. You got them killed.
You don't know anything.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it? .46 jacketed ammunition, modified for range. We have it. This is it.
Nothing.
Good. This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer.
Murder.
Death mode.
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof. There were Maybells in the grass when you got here. They're revolutionary symbols from the war. Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Clausia's bedroom. Now they're gonna come up. You got it. Remember? The boot prints were like no modern soul.
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them.
He seems tender suddenly, nostalgic even. A strange mood swing. Or in the dust on the floor. of the hidden room. They do, however, seem to be about the same size.
The size fits, but not the soul.
No la suele.
Sire, he doesn't have to be wearing them right now.
Claro.
Racking those brains, are you? Desperate to report something back to your masters? They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The lieutenant gives you a quick sideways glance and nods to acknowledge. The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. He can't keep them from flickering, looking for something. The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silent suddenly, some strange process within him. A gush of wind. Seagulls in the distance.
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer, armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer, dripping with blood. Beating us to the ground, moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner. Got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your Them. Fucking. I didn't like that. Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself. Drugged out, soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die so he could not enjoy life anymore. And I wanted to see his head explode. That too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second, writhing. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But you can't have everything.
The caliber of bullet he used does not do that kind of damage.
There's nothing to hold on to. Only this. It's not enough.
The coals of his eyes
Sus ojos de carbón brillan de repente
like
como
stones
piedras
dripping
goteando
with
agua.
water. Is he crying?
Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have your eye on something there. It's weakness, I know. Yes, over the years. It's not unproletarian to feel something. No. I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying, like a child, in the corner of her room on the floor. The day after I killed him. Yes, I don't know why I do the things I do anymore.
Neither does he. He lowers his head, like a sunflower on a withered stalk. In the silence, the lieutenant draws a line in his notes.
Since she came to Martinez, I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Fell building. It was dark, still winter. She didn't have her skimpy outfit on then, just a spot in the night, moving.
Past the Fell building on the coast? What was she doing there?
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking. She was nervous, but not scared.
And beautiful.
Her passport and tickets to Villiers. And from there to Cachet Brut. After she was gone,
Did you keep what was in it? When we found the submersible, it was empty.
no. Why would I do that? I didn't need tickets to Villiers. I'd put them back. If I wanted to extort someone, I'd do better.
This implies that he's thought about extorting her.
Why would I need that trash? I'm not going to Villiers.
There it is again. The strange neurological state he's sometimes in.
I did. She had a face like an archipelago, with those birthmarks, and a body hard and lean and bruised all over, black and yellow. I could see she's taken a beating. I could see who she was, too. A spook, on the run. Revershal's the cloaca of capital now. All the bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals.
You could tell she was a spook from the documents?
She had different color hair on the photo, and glasses. Forged. Some sordid bourgeois affair. I've heard
He's setting it up for you.
I'm not blind, am I?
It quickly comes to you.
Oh, yes. Cutting those drugs of hers into little lines with a knife. Masturbating.
Everything in him fills with impossible longing, all at once.
Did you make that hole?
With a clip point knife. Like that, too. Yes. Bending like a bow against the glass. I've been through all of Martinez. Every nook and cranny. Yes, that too. The things they did in that little room. What she'd do to feel good. You'd turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but...
Those two took the cake. You hear the familiar scribble of the lieutenant's pen. A quick glance at you.
How did you get in there? The hidden pinball workshop.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an antisocial. Closing hour is a good time. The kitchen's empty.
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen? How?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope.
Andy found use for it. A spare key, like the one hanging behind the Union Box window.
One more thing. The flowers, Mr. Dross. The dried flowers that were on the roof.
What about them?
There, he's already admitted to it. Just ask.
I did. I shouldn't have. It was a mistake. I was there one night, and she was crying, like a child in the corner of her room, on the floor. I'd never seen her do that before. The day after I killed him. Yes, I don't know why I do the things I do anymore. Maybe, I told you, I have holes in my brain now. I wouldn't just sit here waiting for you.
A sudden pang of rage.
If you came 10 years ago, I would have killed you.
In the silence, the lieutenant draws a line in his notes, then nods at you once more.
Her.
The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement.
Where is she, that Clasier? I haven't seen her there for days. Gone. I knew it. She kept staring into the scope
Oh.
this last week at the island, like she knew. She'd look at night, crying or smoking on the roof, staring right into me. It doesn't matter.
Midtown, across the Bay of Revachol, the oceanic wind washes 40-story towers. Above them, Lausanne's central aerodrome, a cocoon suspended in the sky by a web of suspension wiring, encircled by hybrid aircraft. On the platform, a young woman is withdrawing from amphetamines, barbiturates, and alcohol. Yet still she smiles among the crowd, among the great ghosts of the city she's leaving, for another, far south. Smaller, distant, hidden, not like the great chandelier she sees sparkle in the night below her. Streetlights, towers, tenements, and water, and across it a dark strip of ruins, barely visible if she didn't squint her eyes. He knew she knows. She was looking at the island, figuring it out, day by day, cigarette by cigarette.
We could get more. We've got him talking.
A tragic comedy. Druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers.
A strange little engine seems to fire up in him again. It straightens his back. The familiar put of hatred.
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house, stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez is the worst. Because of the racists. Everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to do in the whole world. Listening to race-themed radio shows. In the ruins, in their lorries. Pumped full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that Social Democratic Union and the farce of a Social Democrat who runs it. Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square, to spit on the working class. Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruins. In tents, like animals, like those boom-boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs. The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now, Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead. So, actually, the worst is that old cock parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins too. Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon, or Koyamoran, or some other island they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children. That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. At least that old cunt Frisell is now dead. We did good when we pushed him under the horse car, until, in the 30s, those disco whores.
The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center, leaving only a nonsensical sputter. What was that about? Steroids? It piqued your interest. There was something about a statue and nihilistic advertising agency people might be worth investigating.
Whores. Yes, steroids. A racist on steroids. What is my opinion? You think the rich man has an opinion on this idiocy? Is the rich man on the radio telling you his opinion? No. The rich man's looking at real estate and fiddling his kids, wading through the corpses.
Ha, yes, but he was there. Why was he there if you can't have an opinion?
Scratching away at the race question. You moral intern monkeys keep the conversation going on Channel 4, helping the rich man conduct his swindle with this inanity. You think the rich man cares about your little race games? He rules the whole world, and he laughs at your moral soliloquies. Syphilis is a disease Philip III contracted in a whorehouse. The statue is an abomination. The bacteria entered his brain and made him squander trillions on sparkling wine, cocainum, and monuments of himself. His son, Philip IV, the insane, contracted syphilis in the womb. And he still went on to govern Revachol for 25 years. We lost 2 million lives toppling that mode of government. And those grotesque statues too. Hundreds of them. What a keen remark. Yes, it is, isn't it? It's still there. Do you know why? That's right. Some advertising cockroaches erected a cynical deconstruction of it. We tore it down with honest working-class plastic explosives. And there it is again. Art is a bourgeois establishment. It's an affront to humanity. Every gallery should be bulldozed, and the artists should all be given 30 years of hard labor in Yekokata.
Wait, the bullet hole in Philippe's heart. The statue had been shot. That was him.
I did. A needless, sentimental gesture. I should have spared the bullet for a deformed monster of liberal capitalism. Shameful, really.
Yes, shameful. So many others to punish over the years. Isn't that right, detective?
The fat union man let them put it there. Corrupt as he is. Probably got a fat check for it too. Shared with the law.
He keeps having opinions about the union's leadership.
Another hideous disappointment. Unions are the real enemy. The true enemy of the proletariat. Placating the masses.
Disappointment. So personal. He
Los altos
displays
mandos
a
del sindicato.
familiarity with the union's top brass.
That deformed toad? I wouldn't expect him to wipe his own ass. I mean, the brains of the operation. The smart one.
Edgar.
He talks a big game about uprising and social base. They must have sent the smart one to some university in Le Jardin, where it's alienation this and hegemony that. First against the wall with him.
The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time. Nothing happens in Martinez without them knowing.
Of course. Maybe the Clears asked him to.
I haven't approached anyone. I hid. It was Edgar who came to me.
How did he know you were here?
He didn't just stumble in like an oaf. He figured it out. Some kids told him about a monster on the island. I told you, he has brains. Stepped right off the boat and walked down where you came. I even kept the door open for him. Thought he was a man of the left, wouldn't rat me out. I was right about one of those things. 20 years ago, neither of them could walk now, could they? They were less fat then. Edgar did the talking, paid his respects like I were a fossil in a uniform, offered platitudes about the struggle, flaunted his pink degree, even quoted Marzoff. Never trust a social democrat who quotes Marzoff. Oh, and charity too. They love their charity.
Mantas y
Offered
una
me
casa.
blankets and social housing. I still have the gas cooker he brought. Let me be here. The ZOC is an unlawful successor of the Commune of Revachol. We took this fortification from the Loyalists. Even the Clares understand this.
They let him be here. Understanding was a courtesy. But why such a courtesy?
You know why I killed that fucker, Dwat. As to Edgar, I'm not doing anything for that swine again.
Again? What have you done for Edgar before?
Tried teaching him some Marzovian
Socioeconomía no fue bien, no se le quedó.
They didn't stick. We parted ways.
Okay, he didn't do the hang the man for them, but he's insinuating something.
Every fucking morning for 34 years. Throwing that ball. One ball against the other. I've always loathed that game. That is not a working class game. I don't care what they say on Radio June. Royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click-clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race. A petanque maniac race traitor. I remember him. I remember him from La Noce. Not him personally, his make and model. There were tens of thousands of them. I thought we took them all out before the Liberals came to their rescue. We missed one. That one. Fat and plump, like a pheasant, just begging to be popped off. Please, Mr. Dross, shoot me.
He whispers with such predatory hunger, it borders on longing.
Not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face, and just fiddle the trigger. Think about it. Let the bomb melt in my mouth.
A treat, better served for later. He's a pleasure delayer.
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day. The blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think, no, don't waste it. Put this lead in that cock-René. For the boys he killed. And then I look at him throw those balls, and I suddenly feel better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him. Haven't seen him around lately, strutting around. Must be down with arthritis. I hope it hurts like hell. I hope he sweats blood. No. I waited too long. I waited too long, and now he's dead?
I'm sorry, Mr. Dross. I understand you knew him for a long time.
They're all dead now. Fuck it. All human beings care about each other. I cared for seeing his head explode. Now, God damn this one. Fuck you. You think I haven't seen people die? It's all I've seen them do. Fuck and die. All the other plans we had. To love. To colonize the Pale. It's all fucked.
It doesn't look like he is. Okay.
Por favor.
Oh no,
Ah, bueno.
the connection doesn't come to you on such a pivotal moment. Slap yourself in the head again. Jumpstart it.
About this deal you made. With Edgar. The death of the colonel mercenary was only coincidentally beneficial to the Clares. But what about the other people you've killed for them?
Other people?
Like the previous 4 women of the Union.
That's it. That's what you weren't connecting yourself.
I didn't fight 40 years to end up an informant for the international regime. What happened, happened.
Still dumb. Your eyes are transfixed on his digits. It's yellow with nicotine. You could say he has dirty fingernails, but that's just a fact. It's not going to do anything.
Look who's up. Drunken stupor. This one's worse for wear than me. Emotionally frayed. Life is hard for us human beings in deregulation hell, isn't it?
We will have plenty of time to talk about this later, Mr. Dross. When you're in pre-detention. It can take years in pre-detention.
Go ahead. I've been in solitary confinement my whole life.
Ease off it. This was not an unmitigated disaster. The lieutenant mitigated it. Just proceed, calmly.
Glad we talked about what?
His lip curls in...
Glad we talked about what?
What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. For a man who's spent 44 years in the urban wild. Indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated ideas. Above all, he seems animated. It's a mystery.
Un misterio.
This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface, unconstrained by his nervous system. You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet
Cuando sus
different.
pensamientos fluyen, son
When his
lúcidos,
thoughts
agudos,
move,
incluso
they are
distan de ser
lucid,
seniles.
keen even. No, is it some kind of substance damage? Like he's addicted to something? Not only the painkillers he's clearly on.
No. I won't be stuffed full of shit like the rest of this city.
It's not a downer.
Es un calmante, más bien es un estimulante a juzgar por sus
Judged by his
chasquidos.
snaps.
I don't know what that is. Like some kind of decadent rock star. No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
There it is again. Erratic
Erráticos en las manos, episodios de ira y lo del estómago que no
stomach thing too, of course.
falte.
Could it be a symptom of overdosing on something? Something even you have not tried? Keep your eyes peeled.
I ain't going anywhere.
No sé si lo he hecho bien, pero ya me retrasó bastante. Guardar partida. Y vamos a crear una nueva partida.
The old
Ahora sí.
man stares
Queda detenido por
despondently
asesinar al
at
coronel
the
contratista,
logs.
creen en el aquí
It's
mercenario.
like he's forgotten you're there.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
This terror is the sum of all the uncontrollable movements and mood swings he's been exhibiting.
Pero solo le estoy diciendo queda detenido.
The wind picks up.
El viento se
The
levanta.
silence on the water is broken all around you. Little shivers of waves appear. The lieutenant continues, like an incantation.
Your wayfarer
Sus
rights
derechos
have been
evidentes les han sido
suspended.
revocados. La información
Information
proporcionada a
provided
los
to the
agentes
officers on
presentes
the
será
scene
utilizada en
will
su
be
contra
used
por la
against them
Fiscalía. Se le
when
dará un consejo
prosecution.
legal dentro de una semana y
Will be
deberá
given legal
confrontar en la corte en un
counsel
periodo de
within
44
1 week
días.
and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But... No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead. Pupils are dilated
También
too.
tiene las pupilas
Eyes
dilatadas.
getting blacker and blacker.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
You thought you heard something, but it's just the reeds.
Maybe we could all fit in there. Actually, no. Not really. We could escort him to
Podremos
the pier,
escoltarlo.
then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here. But
There's something you're not getting here that he's realizing.
who watches over him there while I come back for you?
Lillian, you could ask her maybe.
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
No, listen. Listen now.
Podrías volver.
Okay, how about I take him to the precinct and you wait on the island?
This world? What are you talking about? Is this us?
Your skin is crawling suddenly.
¿Y ahora qué pasa?
A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
De pie.
What are you talking about?
¿Qué? What the?
There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand move to your holster to grab the gun.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
I can see it.
4 simple words, thank God. If he can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really
Está
there,
ahí.
spinning slowly, in absolute silence, its limbs long and slender.
Más bien buen soundtrack, ¿eh? Muy buen soundtrack.
Be very, very careful.
¿Qué diablos es eso? Pregúntale, ese ya no lo voy a poder.
The creature stands on
La
long,
criatura se yergue sobre unas
stilt-like
patas largas
legs,
como
antennae
zancos con
hanging
antenas
from
que le
its
cuelgan de la
head like a
cabeza como
woman's
si
hair.
del cabello de una mujer se
White
tratara,
curled
blancas y
at the
rizadas en
tips.
las puntas. Se encuentra
It is
a
no
escasos
more
5
than
pasos
5
de ti.
steps away from you. Reed-like tufts stick
Unos
out of its
penachos en forma de
joints.
junco sobresalen de sus articulaciones a medida que el insecto mueve sus extremidades. Estas emiten un leve siseo como el de un magnetófono que sigue girando después de que la cinta se rompa.
It is.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a piece of milled aluminium. He begins to pull it open, extremely carefully. It's the camera. No, the flash will scare the creature off. Warn him now.
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the phasmid's
Una serie de
limbs. A
chasquidos
series
ultrasónicos
of
llenos.
ultrasonic clicks fills your ear. I am not palatable. Do not eat me. I am afraid.
I won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture.
You see the phasmid turn to him. Its mandible antennae
No lo vas a
reaching
ver.
out. Its motions are quick, sudden.
Understood. Of course.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air, slowly.
La experiencia de la niñez de Elena.
Nothing changes in the cyclical brain motion of the creature's limbs. They are porcelain white on the inside and reed-colored on the out, beige, light brown, and striped. You are unsure if it is scared or not. Its insect mind is impenetrable to your reasoning. Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Like laughter, a sort of happiness. Hissing and clicking,
Si se chasquea cuando extiende sus antenas como mandíbulas para saludarte. Te encuentras justo debajo contemplando la enorme quitina de sus miembros. Blanquecinos, la cabeza de la criatura está coronada por juncos y sus ojos son como pequeñas gotas de agua. Levantar la mano lentamente. Una respuesta de su boca proviene de un silencio total ancestral, junto con lo que parece ser alguna clase de espuma. Las estridulaciones de sus miembros continúan envolviéndote. Tenías razón, unas pequeñas burbujas surgen de las piezas bucales de la criatura, de su segmento labio inferior. Parece que lentamente segrega espuma. La espuma es blanca, pero al rato se torna amarillenta.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
Poco a poco, mientras el insecto mastiga con sus piezas bucales, la espuma va adquiriendo un tono más oscuro, como el caramelo quemado. Las pequeñas burbujas empiezan a estallar una por una. El insecto cesa su estridulación y parece observarte. Sus ojillos brillan como alfileres bajo su corona de juncos, en pos de detectar cualquier movimiento. El mundo se paraliza a tu alrededor. De repente, todo se queda en silencio. No detente.
The invertebrate comes back to life, stridulating. Sets of complex eyes follow you, moving in tandem, on either side of the insect's small head.
I exist.
What?
No, you're awake. I am real. Light is forming me. Yes, I do not have a star to display, so I use a neurodegenerative element.
Alelomona neurodegenerativa para ayudar con mi camuflaje. Oh, no tengas miedo, tan solo es dañino tras largos periodos de exposición.
Tell me what it's like for you. Then I will tell you what it's like for me.
Fuego ardiente.
Where?
Ante la palidez resplandece. Fuego. La ciudad alrededor de este. En la ciudad alrededor. dentro.
I do not have fire inside me. In me, there is not
De mí ni
even
siquiera hay
blood,
sangre,
but lymph,
como la
like
savia.
sap from a one palm. Now, I will tell
Te diré
you
lo que
what
es para
it's
mí.
like
Es
for
una
me.
serie de imágenes embriagadoras, una especie de oscuridad que sufre una invasión transitoria, borrosa y húmeda.
Being intruded upon. Transient.
Invasión. ¿Quién la invade?
Shapes of plants
Formas
and
de,
animals.
formas de plantas y animales y sensaciones internas, un enjambre de sonidos, pequeñas vibraciones en el interior de mis antebrazos. Se trata de complejidades más allá de mi comprensión.
All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the
Estoy
end
al
of
final
an
de un
era.
embudo estrecho, ingrávido, tan liviano que lo siento como si fuera algo de mí. En realidad puede que no sea nada. Sin duda no tengo alma y si la tuviera nunca quemaría.
Perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul. And if I did, it would never burn. Are you sure? Sometimes.
A veces cuando mudo la piel me vuelve a crecer un miembro perdido. Una vez algo salió mal y una pequeña pata reemplazó una antena. No sé qué, no tengo ni idea. Es todo tan confuso. Tan confuso que no tengo ni idea o no sé qué pensar sobre qué debería decirle. También ha sido muy repentino. Estaba investigando y aparece algo de lo que se habló como hace unos minutos atrás. Y estaba tan inseguro porque de verdad quiero que Kim sobreviva para que no le saque fotografías y todo eso.
Yes.
Y la pata intentaba moverse de forma independiente, haciendo que fuera difícil caminar.
Making it hard to walk. Yes.
Por suerte alguien se la comió. La siguiente vez que me mudé se me volvió a crecer una antena.
I grew an antenna again. So am I.
Yo también nací para detectar recompensas de sacarosa y semioquímicos. ¿Tú para qué naciste? Para
What
detectar el
were
qué?
you born to detect? He's in a bad state.
Está en mal estado, deteriorándose rápidamente. Cree que le benefició, pero no es así, solo
I
acelera
am
su...
beneficial to him, but I am not. I only quicken his deterioration. Very slowly, and only because
Muy
he
lentamente y
won't go
únicamente
away.
porque no se ha marchado. Es para que no se den cuenta de que de mí, para interferir en las imágenes de sus cabezas, pero me ha mirado durante demasiado tiempo y lo estoy destruyendo. ¿De dónde viene todo esto a nuestro alrededor?
Not even the birds
Ni siquiera
know
los
that.
pájaros saben eso, ni siquiera los nenufares.
I think we should
Creo que deberíamos comérnoslo.
If he's a
Si es una hoja, puedo metérmela en la boca un junco.
or read. Yum yum.
Wait, so
Entonces te pareces a un junco y...
Yes, they don't mind. Yes, I once cloned myself and ate the
Me
little
comí los
ones.
pequeñines, era invierno y me desperté en el momento equivocado,
And
fue un
I woke
accidente.
up at the wrong time. It was an accident. I am an
Soy una
unknown
especie desconocida
species
del
of the
orden de los
order Phasmatodea,
Phasmatodea, endémico de la isla insulíndica. Me he ocultado a plena vista durante los últimos 350 años. Mezclado con los juncos, mudo la piel, me clono y aprovecho las noches para aventurarme y jugar con los cubos de basura y las huellas.
Unfolding at night to play with trash bins and boys.
it may have unknown
Puede que tenga características
dangerous
bioquímicas desconocidas y peligrosas que le ayuden a mantenerse
that help it
camuflaje.
maintain its camouflage.
No one unnoticed
Pasé
that the
desapercibido
first
para los primeros
settlers, the land
colonos
surveyors
y
and
los
the
topógrafos de la suzerainía. También para los soldados de la revolución y los oficiales de la ocupación. Ni siquiera los primeros isleños y meneses que llegaron, pero no se quedaron, me han visto.
But did not stay. They have not seen me. I have stayed hidden through four
He
forms
permanecido
of
invisible durante
government,
4 formas de gobierno y 2 revoluciones científicas hasta que me descubrió por accidente un inspector de la milicia ciudadana de Ravachol en Martínez en marzo del 51.
District of Martinez, March 51. No. You are the miracle. The moral of our encounter
La moraleja de nuestro encuentro es que yo soy una forma de vida relativamente del montón, mientras que sois vosotros quienes estáis total y disparatadamente locos, un sistema nervioso simiesco, inestable, obscenamente nuevo en este planeta.
the pale too.
El pálido también llegó con vosotros, nadie lo recuerda antes de vosotros, los isnidarios no, los simétricos, radiales tampoco. Existe un consenso prácticamente unánime entre pájaros y plantas de que vais a destruirnos a todos.
You are going to destroy us all.
¿Qué es la palidez? Es una sombra nerviosa arrojada al mundo por vosotros y que carcome la realidad, un territorio vasto y antinatural. Su aparición coincide con la llegada de la mente humana. Sois un milagro violento e incontrolable, el vacío del cosmos y las estrellas ardientes os temen. Con el tiempo suficiente nos eliminaráis a todos y nos sustituiríais por nada, sin querer. Sospechamos que será parecido al holocausto del oxígeno que borró la vida anaeróbica hace 2.600 millones de años, cuando los primeros organismos empezaron a respirar, solo que mucho peor. En vez de aire exhalas pensamientos, no hay árboles que coman pensamientos. ¡Mier! Todo lo que tocan vuestros ojos termina allí, tras el espejo de nervios, y si parpadeáis seguiremos aquí. Por favor, no parpadeéis. ¿Qué pasa si un día nos extravías a todos y directamente nos olvidáis? No estás pensando ahora, esto es una revelación. Pronto uno de vosotros cerrará sus ojos y los abrirá para ver que nada.
It doesn't look like that, no. You're just staring at it.
Entonces creo que estoy teniendo una visión sobre el destino final del hombre. Nada, tan solo estoy observando un efecto palto.
Okay. Is it somehow related to the case? I think we should take the picture, and then you should back away from the unstudied species.
No, there is one more.
No tengo más pensamientos. No quedan más pensamientos. De todas las criaturas que he conocido, tú eres... Creo que...
Thank you. I also have
Yo
one
también
more
tengo
thing
una
to
cosa más
say
que
to you
decirte antes de
before
que te
you go.
vayas. Es sobre esa mujer. Aléjate de la ruina, date la vuelta y sigue adelante. Hazlo por bachón.
Turn, go forward. Forever show. You cannot lie.
A mí no me puedes mentir. Tras de ti se huelen las llamas. Llevas excesivo tiempo mentalizándote por un reencuentro. Déjala ir.
Dare to go in her presence. And it. She was held on earth.
Era el infierno en la tierra. No hace falta ser un insecto. Palo de 3 metros para decírtelo.
Okay.
No.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated on you.
In 3.
A la de 3 susurró el hombre, la
You
tensión en
jump
su
back.
voz.
I'll shoot. Here we go. 3,
Oh, por favor, no, que no le pase nada.
1.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air
No.
like the blade of a sword. The phasmid
El
freezes
estridente
in
flash
its
de la
bright
cámara
light.
corta el aire como un filo de una espada. El phasmid se congela en la luz cegadora con la cabeza vuelta hacia el teniente, hipnotizado por el flash. Se queda congelado frente a ti.
The sweat on your arms
El sudor de tus
feels
brazos es frío
cold
como el
as
hielo, como
ice,
si
as
tú
if
también
you're
estuvieras
frozen
congelado en la sombra de esta
by the
gigantesca
shadow of this
estatua de
great
mármol
statue of chitinous marble.
finitoso.
I got it.
No tengo escucha, susurró al teniente mientras la figura de la criatura comienza a aparecer en la fotografía que tiene en la mano. Un espectro policromado de rasgos blancos contra los juncos y el cielo, y tú ante él como una sombra.
For all time.
Para siempre. Tocar los bigotes de la criatura.
The limb
La extremidad es increíblemente liviana, como la cáscara de un huevo. Es mucho más ligera que un junco. Te parece que un pequeño empujoncito podría derribar a la criatura y que su exoesqueleto hueco se hundiría. Atención, pasó la mano. Un escalofrío repentino recorre el miembro. Parece que la criatura está despertando, oleada tras oleada de su estupor. Mano, las antenas cuelgan desde una gran altura. Con la mano temblorosa apenas alcanzas a tocar la punta del bigote izquierdo. Al contacto, la quitina se enrosca en una espiral como la punta de una hiedra venenosa. Al tocarlo, con la punta de tu dedo sientes frío y cosquillas. La sensación es electrizante, resuena a través de tu cuerpo. El extremo del bigote es sorprendentemente delicado, como el tallo fresco de una planta trepadora. Incluso está algo húmedo. Parece que alguien le hizo daño en una pelea. Esa antena es mucho más pequeña que la otra. El inspector Samuel. No sientes nada, el artrópodo sigue inmóvil ante ti. No me voy a lamer el dedo. Otro escalofrío recorre las extremidades de la criatura. Esta se sacude el estupor y regresa a la vida como un disco que continúa donde lo dejaron. Se mece en un movimiento de rezo. Las pequeñas perlas negras que son sus ojos ni siquiera se despegan de ti. Alejarte lentamente. A medida que te alejas del fásmido, reproduce tus movimientos con un espejo sobre el agua. Sus largos miembros cargan su peso liviano sin romper la superficie. Dime qué. Ver toda esa escena en este momento...
Just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror, like
Es
a skipping
muy
stone,
extraño todo esto.
leaving nothing but circles on the water, and something under it.
Y algo debajo en
In
el
the
lugar
place
donde
it
estaba
stood,
algo.
bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
It's gone.
¿Puede caminar sobre el agua?
Apparently, yes.
Eso parece
Like a
como
water
un guerrero.
strider.
Only... Nunca había visto nada como
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
¿Qué es eso que hay entre los juncos?
Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
Bueno, que repite de repente el anciano detrás de ti, mete la mano en las cenizas, están sucias y
In
negras.
some kind of strange, semi-catatonic state.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
Casco. Mira de rifle. Prueba de pasaporte de Clays. Diario de Ruby.
This passport, issued by the Sovereign Republic of Oranje, is issued to a black-haired woman called Katarzyna Alazie.
Classia's hidden documents. From the MT boy.
It's Klasia, with short
Morena,
black hair
con el
and
pelo corto y
glasses.
gafas. Tiene
She
cierto
looks
aire. El
boyish,
muchacho tiene de alguna
young
manera y parece
somehow.
más joven. ¿Qué estaba haciendo este en el...
Maybe our man, Mr. Dross, took it from Classia's, or whatever her name was. Hiding place, or... Like a magpie?
Como un huracán se
What a
redumbra la
coincidence.
conciencia después?
Then it would also have collected the other objects, which would be highly unusual. I can see how the helmet could wash up on the island, and the scope. Maybe Mr. Dross lost it, but to seek this out would be very unusual behavior for an arthropod. She said it would be for Anouk Meyer-Smith. Anouk Meyer-Smith.
I told you she kept
Te dije
lying
que seguía mintiendo.
She's
Lo más
probably
seguro es
lied
que
to
ahora
someone
este
else
mismo
right
esté
now.
mintiendo de otro.
in another city.
Puede que este sea su pasaporte real y no una falsificación, porque este es su nombre.
Yes, somehow she managed
Sí, de alguna
to lie
manera
to
se les
us
ingenió para
one
mentirnos.
more
Una
time.
vez más nos...
In a way, she's still
Todavía nos
lying
sigue
to us
mintiendo.
right now. I don't know.
No lo sé,
But it's
pero no
not
es que se nos
Katarzyna
esté...
Lassie or Classier
Me temo
or
que ni
Anouk
siquiera
Mills
arañamos la
Smith.
superficie
We
con ella.
didn't even scratch the surface with her, detective. Perhaps it's better that
Mira,
we
la
didn't
Leste,
arrest
quizás
her.
fuese para mejor no
Who
la
knows
arrestamos.
what
¿Quién
hell
sabe
she'd
por
be
qué
raising in my
escándalos?
district by now.
The winds are silent. The streets are empty of her. She is no longer in the city of Revachol.
A ver. Depende, si...
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
Something is very wrong with him now.
See.
Mr. Dross?
The man
El
does
hombre no
not
responde, su mirada
respond.
continúa embotada, ojos negros vidriosos y a punto de escapar de sus cuencas, le tiembla la mandíbula. Como un adicto a alguna sustancia horrible, se esquera los dedos enfrente de su cara.
A light shiver passes him, followed
Y su
by
respiración se ralentiza.
his hands are trembling and he breathes slowly.
He's going into some
Está experimentando algún tipo de movilidad psicomotora. El teniente lo inspecciona con delicadeza. Las buenas noticias son que eso se soluciona.
Doesn't it, Mr. Dross?
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire
Entre ese y el neumático roto que utilizaba como barco, creo que sería seguro dejarle aquí mientras vamos a buscar ayuda. Me temo que lo primero será encontrar un médico. ¿Qué le ha pasado a este hombre?
Old age.
Dejé así como si mira al anciano y después a ti. La aparición de Fasmido junto con el estrés del arresto se le ha pasado toda su vida aquí. Para él salir sería ni a con gozo. Mira fijamente a los juncos, tus palabras no significan nada para él, quizás deberías. Ni siquiera queda rabia. Las últimas ascuas se han apagado, la guerra ha acabado. Si Kuno lo tiró al mar, como dijo que hizo, la marea lo arrastró aquí. Tiene sentido, el señor Dross pudo haberlo recogido, o a lo mejor el Fasmido sí lo hizo. Es increíble. No hay reacción alguna, su respiración es lenta y de repente parece muy mayor, como de unos 80 años. Al fin, al cabo es un anciano, ya no es un soldadito de plomo, sino los restos destrozados de un hombre. Cogí el pasaporte y otros papeles de la polla y la cuesta.
The spirit.
El espíritu.
He hears us. The spirit?
No reply.
Se ha ido de nuevo.
He's gone again.
Try something else?
Pero vamos a otra cosa, he vuelto.
I lost.
He turns his
Dirige
eyes
sus
to the
ojos de
reeds
nuevo
again,
hacia los juncos como ha
as
hecho
he's
muchas
done
veces,
so
líneas
many
beige y
times.
blancas.
Beige and white stripes.
He lost the scope.
Perdió la mira y de alguna forma consiguió que ésta terminase su viaje allí. Fue con la ayuda de algún Fasmido Urraca. El teniente observa el brillo del... Esta mira es una T9, señor Dross. ¿Estaba acoplada al rifle cuando realizó el disparo? Silencio, ni siquiera es un suspiro. Has conseguido todo lo que puedes obtener de este pobre ser.
The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is
Tiene la boca
slouched
abierta.
and his mouth open.
Deberemos pensar en volver a la ciudad para conseguir ayuda. Aquí estará. ¿A qué horas termina este juego tanto así? Utiliza el fijo. Que haya aparecido así de esa forma el Fasmido ha sido como ver algo muy no sé cómo describirlo, ha sido muy impresionante, muy. Por favor, ya no dures más.
ICM? This feels familiar somehow.
Milicia Ciudadana Insulíndica es el nombre oficial del ejército de los comuneros, el ejército blanco y negro de la revolución.
Sounds an awful lot like.
It does.
Así es.
The RCM may descend from the ICM. It's impossible to
Es
say.
imposible asegurarlo. Mira hacia la entrada oscura tras la guerra. El nombre era bueno para que la gente se nos uniera en Rebelsol Oeste. Casi todos eran trabajadores y criminales.
Nice political
Buenos
thoughts
pensamientos políticos
rush through
recontra.
your neocortex. It's going to be hard to say
Te va
that.
a costar comunicarlos, llevar todo ese peso, cuesta ese jadear.
There were all sorts of groups and
Había todo
groupuscules
tipo de grupos y grupos,
Doesn't really matter.
pero en realidad no importa, se inclinan para inspeccionar el berrín. Una estrella blanca, señalar.
No.
No, mira, una estrella.
Upside down star.
With its horns in
Con
the
sus
sky,
cuernos hacia el cielo, el
the
símbolo de
symbol
la
of the
comuna.
commune.
Esas manchitas también son de estrellas.
No, that's the uninhabited
Son el
archipelago.
archipiélago deshabitado.
A DeLorean era
Un
symbol
símbolo del
of
periodo
Insulindia,
doloriano de
known as the
Insulindia,
face
conocido
of the
como el
sea.
rostro en el mar. Parece viejo, ¿qué estará haciendo aquí todavía?
After
Después
44
de-
years,
Se
that's
pone a
not
pensar
nearly
40 años y
enough to hide
4.
what happened here.
Es lo suficiente para ocultar lo que sucedió.
One of these barrels was still leaking fuel,
Como
as
pudo
you
comprobar,
saw.
uno de estos
The city
barriles
is
aún
full of
presentaba
things like
fugas de
this.
combustible.
Old bullets,
La ciudad está
gas,
repleta de
fuel.
cosas por el estilo, armas antiguas, munición y combustible. Qué bonita canción, por cierto. Por eso en el momento en el que apareció la criatura, era como ver, no sé, como ver una especie de dios o similar. Bien, de verdad, me ha impresionado mucho, mucho.
The skiff is swaying on the waves by the dock.
We are done here.
The skiff rocks
Al
gently
subirte el esquife
under
se
your
bambolea
weight
suavemente
as
con
you
tu
get in.
peso. El viaje de vuelta
The
transcurre
ride
tranquilo y
back
sin
is
contratiempos.
uneventful and quiet. But for the
A
sound
tenor
of
de los
conversation
murmullos que
on board,
arrastra el agua, alguien te
there is
espera en
someone
tierra firme.
inland waiting for you. You reach the
Llegas
jetty
al embarcadero y
and climb
sales del
out of the
esquife.
skiff.
Qué bonita canción, mano. Muy bonita. Sí me ha hecho sentir algo toda esa escena y la conversación con la criatura.
Look what the tide brought him.
Dice el hombre sin gafas de sol, de repente le cambia el gesto y le da la cabeza.
Harry, you're bleeding all over the place. You're half dead.
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant
En comparación
compared
con
to
lo que
what
acabas de
you've
ver.
just seen.
Hello,
Sí, soy Tranjalda, creo que ya nos hemos
met
visto.
on several occasions.
I'm your goddamn
Soy
partner,
tu maldito
Jean
compañero,
Victor,
Jean
and
Victor,
this
y
is
este
your
es tu
special
operativo de
task force,
fuerzas especiales,
or
dices.
what's left of it. Special consultant
Consultor
Tron
especial Tranjalda,
Haldestam,
este agente de
patrol
patrulla
officer
Judy
Eugene
Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left
Hemos
of you
venido a
after
raspar lo
payment.
que queda de ti del pavimento.
Lieutenant Kim
Gente con Surag, comisario 57, acabamos de volver de la isla, señala el fuerte. Nuestra investigación nos ha llevado allí.
The scene
La
is
situación
making
hace que
you
incluso él sienta que
feel
tiene
as
que
though
justificar
he has to
sus
justify
acciones.
your actions.
Puede que más tarde necesitemos ayuda como algo añade una vez que recupere su plomo.
As if he recalled
Como
that
dándose
he's
cuenta de que en
fact
realidad es un
a
teniente de la
decorated
policía de
innocent
condecorado y no un chico
and
travieso.
naughty boy.
Pero está claro que esto es un asunto intradepartamental, así que voy a dejar que lo discutan entre ustedes. No, que tienes que...
It's good to meet you,
Me alegro de
Lieutenant
conocerte,
Fitzhugh.
Nico Tsuragi, dice como amabilidad.
Letting the lieutenant know he
Que él no debería
should feel
avergonzarse
embarrassed
por las
of the
palabras de mierda que te van
shitstorm
acá.
about to befall you.
Bothered by it.
Molestar.
Harry, you look like you need a fucking organ transplant.
Harry, si parece que tuvieron que ser.
Oh, fuck it. Let's not get into that.
No considero que sea buena idea mostrarle.
Harry, we want to help you.
Queremos ayudarle.
Trent, I believe this is where you come in.
Me paso. No sé muy bien qué estoy haciendo aquí. Me han pedido que participe como experto. Creo que necesito aclarar un poco sus expectativas. Soy como mucho un entusiasta de la ciencia cognitiva. Creo que estoy empezando a dilucidar hacia dónde se dirige todo esto. Mi perfil se orienta en una dirección muy distinta. Mi relación con la neurología, hace comillas en el aire, es meramente teórica. De hecho, quizás debería marcharme. Es tarde, la mierda ya se le ha salpicado. Te vuelves a ti, ¿tienes algo que decir en defensa de tu mierdecilla?
Shit, kid. What an interesting Monica.
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
Volverte en dirección a Whirling y gritar, maldito seas, gerente de último.
And the people on the street helped us too, with your whereabouts.
You're a legend among the drunks, Harry. A legendary local drunk.
¿Tú no eres el hombre de las gafas de sol?
Guilty as charged. I heard you'd lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true.
Me declaro culpable. Intercambié una mirada con el filtro especial. Oí que habías perdido lo que va a decir la memoria.
And it was.
Y con razón, buen trabajo, Harry. Ahora estás de atar una persona menos con la que contar.
He was too sarcastic for you to realize who he was.
Fue demasiado sarcástico como para darte cuenta de quién era. Puede que si no hubiera sido tan sarcástico como... Sufro de depresión clínica, Harry. Discúlpame si no estaba de humor para hacerte la pelota después de que nos mandaras a tomar por culo. ¿Dejó de la corbata o es que directamente no reconociste mi cara? ¿Cuánto? No lo recuerdo. Nunca me dijiste que no eres la...
Shit kid, that's you.
Maybe you've deserved
Puede que te
it.
la hayas buscado.
Duped.
Engañarte, mira, te voy a dar una idea genial. No seas un
Don't be a
borracho
morbid drunk and
recalcitrante
you
y
won't be
encima...
duped so easily. No.
Lo que
Everyone's
pasa es
just
que
a
sois
brilliant
todos
master of
unos maestros
disguises.
en disfraz.
Where have
Donde
we
hemos
been?
estado
We've been
comiendo
fucking off
mierda,
as
si
far as
no
I
me falla la
remember.
memoria.
You told us to
Nos
fuck
mandaste a
off.
tomar por culo,
You said
decías que
we're
te
cramping your style.
cortábamos
You're
el rollo a
detective
ti, al
god.
dios de los
Fuck
inspectores
everything.
que le den
Or
a
we
todo.
burn,
Todo
detect,
bárbaro,
or
investiga.
die. Are you sure? So you haven't been
Te miré
telling
de rojo,
everyone
así
what
que no
boring
le has
cock you
estado
are,
diciendo a todo el
and that
mundo
you
lo
should kill
aburrido que
yourself.
eres, ni tampoco
People
que
say
deberías
you've been
pegarte un
out
tiro.
of
La
your
gente
mind.
dice que te ha visto
I
bastante
asked
desequilibrado, he estado preguntando por ahí.
Yeah, major crimes
Unidad de
unit.
delitos graves
I
bajo
don't
las
know
órdenes
you
de los
went to
tenientes
Jamal.
Dubois y
Ring any
Bitchemer. ¿Te suena de algo?
Refresh your memory? It's a
Es
goddamn
una
major
maldita unidad
crimes
de
unit.
delitos graves. Estamos tú y yo,
Me,
Jude, el puto Tran
drunk fucking Heidelstein,
Heidelstein
and Guillaume
y
baby.
Guillaume Baby.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
Oh, fuck you.
Tanto
You're
que
part of this
dejarme.
shit show. Oh, that's an
Pues
interesting
es una
story,
historia
actually.
bastante curiosa, no es un
Guillaume
rey.
Baby is a
Guillaume
police
es un
reporter
informante
who
que
joined
se
our
unió a
team.
nuestro
He
equipo.
was really good.
Era muy bueno en lo
Then
suyo,
he
pero se
left
marchó
because
porque
he lost
perdió la
faith in
confianza
your
en tu
ability
capacidad
to
para
lead the
dirigir a la
unit.
unidad.
Other people have left
Hay
too.
otros que
Good,
se han
smart
marchado,
people.
gente inteligente y
People
válida,
we
gente
won't get
que no
back.
vamos a recuperar.
Only me and this
Eso lo
really
quedamos
patient
esta
patrol officer
gente de
still here.
patrulla tan paciente
And
y yo,
Tron because
Tran,
I'm
y
forcing
porque
him to
le
stay.
obligo.
Do. It's a major
Es una
crimes unit.
unidad de delitos
We
graves.
kill the
Barremos
desk
los
of
casos que
PCs
nos
so
llegan
Precinct
para que
41
la
doesn't look like
41
the
no
worst
parezca la
station
peor
in
comisaría
town.
de la
We
ciudad.
are shit tier now, Harry.
Ahora somos
Because
el
of you.
hazme reír, Harry, gracias a ti.
The 41st isn't...
No es el... Déjalo aquí. Así que resulta que Tran les dan...
Yes, I'm Khan Heilerstein. I never said I wasn't Khan Heilerstein. Mikhail? Mikhail is my son. No, I was just
No me interesaba el
interested in
edificio de fe, la
Feld
cosa
building into
Martínez. Además,
Martinez
Michael quería ver la zona
and
por
Mikhail
coincidencia.
wanted to see Martinez. It was a
¿Y qué consulta
coincidence.
especial de trae por qué?
What indeed?
¿Qué podría ser? Mira las casuchas destartaladas y luego a ti. Me han pedido que comparta mis opiniones sobre algunas de las teorías más oscuras desarrolladas por Konigsstein en los años 30. Por ejemplo, la amnesia psicotraumática parcial, la teoría de la personalidad grupal. Está aquí para ver si estás loco. Es un cerebrito. Nunca me dijiste que no es teniente. Dice como un...
I was assigned to your unit 2 months ago. I thought we were friends. Okay, you're my commanding officer.
Quiero que tengas una
I
relación.
really want to respect you.
That will never happen.
Ese no va a
He's
dar
the
la-
rudest man
Es el
around.
tío más
He's
odioso
the
que camina
reason
sobre la
why
faz
the
de la
rest
tierra.
of us have to take sensitivity training. And I hate sensitivity training. The bells aren't ringing
No te está
because you have
sonando nada
brain
esto porque
damage.
sufres daño cerebral
Trump,
tras se vuelve.
this is where you come in. How bad is it?
Well, he doesn't
Ya, pues
have
no se lo
physical
observa en
tremors.
temblores,
He
habla sin
talks
dificultades,
without
es
slurring.
capaz de manejar
He
un
can drive a
esquife,
boat. He's
está de
standing.
pie y razona. Son buenas señales, pero
All
presenta
good
amnesia
signs, but
retrógrada completa,
complete
episódica y
retrograde
semántica.
amnesia. Episodic and semantic.
Meaning,
Traducción: olvidaste tanto quién eras como las definiciones de dinero y sole, pálido, etc.
pound, and so on.
As displayed in a station
Tal como se
call,
trasluce de
our
su,
interactions
tal y
with
como
him,
se
and
trasluce de su
I
llamada
took
de
one
nuestras
piece
interacciones con él,
snitch, but
y aunque no
also
quise
mine with him
cotillar hace
before,
comillas en el
when
aire,
Harry did
también
not
de las
seem to
mías
know who I
propias
was.
cuando Harry parecía no
So very
reconocerme.
interesting.
Interesante.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting.
Sí, interesante. Tengo mis teorías, pero antes quisiera saber qué piensa él. Harry se vuelve hacia ti.
What do
¿Qué
you
cree que
think
le ha pasado
happened?
neurológica, psicológica y por qué no
Neurologically,
socioeconómicamente?
psychologically, and why
Espera, ¿cómo
not
que eso? ¿Crees que soy tan pobre que...?
Not when you phrase it like that. But I don't think critical theory. I know everyone thinks this is far-fetched pink academia, but still, I don't think it should be off the table here.
Tal cual lo está diciendo, pero no creo que la teoría crítica ya sea tan... puro, pero aún así, no creo que haya desestimado.
What?
Que
He lost his memory
perdí la
because of
memoria por culpa.
capitalism.
No, not like that.
No,
I'm not
ese
talking
punto me
for
refiero a la
school
escuela.
here. But Harry, I asked you, what do you think happened?
He is. He's getting better. And I can confirm that he
Antes de
drank
que
a
le
lot of
pasara.
alcohol prior to it happening.
I believe he drank.
Me creo que
People do that.
lo de que ha
especially
bebido
in
se
this
vuelve a
world.
ti.
What they
Mucha
don't
gente
do
lo
is
hace,
forget
sobre
their
todo
whole
él. Lo
life
que no
because of
hacen es
drinking.
olvidar su vida entera por culpa de la bebida.
But Detective
Pero
McNair,
Inspector
he has
Primary,
blanked out before. Yes, a couple of times.
después de algunas de las
After some of the
intoxicaciones más
more
graves, se detiene a
serious
rememorar
symptoms.
una vez.
One was after the 2 drunks case, the other when we looked into that mirror.
The two cases in your ledger, the unsolvable case
Casos
and
recientes.
the next world mural. Those cases were hard on
Le pasaron factura.
Interesting. So
Así
at
que primero
first he
sumergió un
dipped his
poco la
toes
punta de los
to
pies, se preparó,
prepare.
entonces debió tener la
That's where he
idea.
would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak.
What do you mean?
Well, here's
Bueno,
my
mi teoría es la siguiente, y si se trata de una reacción completamente normal frente al mundo en el que vivimos, y si no, es una anomalía significativa, algo que deba explicarse, que deba tomarse como un fallo. Fíjense en este rango de estímulos sensoriales, gestículas y el paisaje.
Look at the ruins.
Ver las ruinas, los neones, oír la radio, las multitudes, la gente, vivir aquí 40 años.
Live here for 40 years.
Como inspector, es un lector magnético de la cinta del mundo por apropiarme de una metáfora conocida. Harry se ha visto empujado de bruces contra todo esto, un estímulo total.
Hardwired to the
Enchufado en caliente, a libre mercado, asiente con seguridad, necesitaba hacerlo para...
Okay, Trump, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that.
He's not a cretin.
No está
And
tocando
he
la
is
ley.
able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
Como inspector regular.
No one can mention that. I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the body? Or do we need to get him on a disability pension?
They can keep that pension.
Si se tragan la
You're
pensión,
rock
eres duro
solid.
como una roca. Puedes
You can
vestirte
put
sin
your
usar las
clothes
manos.
on hard.
Now nothing.
Ahora nada.
Now we're just going to stand here. No. Now we discuss
Vamos a
that.
hablar de eso,
What the
señales el
fuck
agua.
did you
¿Qué
do to
coño has
Omar
hecho con
Gary?
nuestro
Why
carruaje
is it there,
motorizado?
Harry?
Ah. Creía que el asesino estaba sumergido, pero resultó no ser así. Lustraste contra el mar, la calle entera te vio hacerlo, se está convirtiendo en una atracción local, lo van a poner en el folleto, gracias por jodernos. Gracias por destruir una propiedad policial de 45.000 reales que van a salir de mi salario. Lo sabes, no te van a despedir y yo voy a estar pagando hasta que me muera. No importa, exhala para calmar su respiración. Y la placa, Harry, enséñame la placa.
The thing that tells people you're a police officer.
He squints at it, suspiciously, trying to ascertain if it's not a blue candy wrapper or a piece of vinyl.
Okay, and your gun?
Bravo, la tiene. Y yo pensando que estaría en el mar. Finge alivio, pasa.
You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone. You were never supposed to lose it in the first place. Not lost.
No perdí
It's
eso
your
en
gun's
esto.
natural state. You drunk bum. Well, you let the suspect escape, classy as something, because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk.
Sí, ese sí ha sido totalmente mi culpa.
We've read the reports. Lieutenant Kitsuhagis. We know.
Oh, well.
Sí,
She
eso
was
me
specially trained. I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect who also escaped. Yeah, Ruby's something. Or the fact that you're
El hecho de que te hayas convertido en un pequeño peone de Everclear, haciéndole no sé qué favores, eso es de poca monta, no es nada, es una anécdota graciosa.
Mi
moral. Que muerto acribilladas las calles.
It was fucking mass murder.
Yo no lo veo tan mal. Salvar es salvar y hubiera terminado peor si no me hubieran interpuesto.
He did everything he could.
En ese momento sí.
We did everything we could. The company hired
La compañía contrató a mercenarios peligrosos. El teniente Dubois se interpuso entre ellos y los locales.
He did so at
Lo ha
considerable
hecho poniendo su vida bajo un riesgo considerable. Recuerde, ha recibido un tiro. Hemos detenido una ejecución, no una negociación. La pérdida de vidas ha sido mínima en comparación con lo que podía haber pasado. El tiroteo es un asunto trivial, ¿sí?
Detective, it's better if I do that.
Ah, ok.
It's so much better if he does this. A million times better.
Thank you for the input,
Gracias por el
Dr.
apunte,
Surrey.
gente. No
I
pretendía
don't
sugerir que no
suggest
fuera
you
capaz de
depend on the
controlar la situación.
situation.
Se aparta un mechón de pelo.
You've spent the week
Ha
with
pasado
him.
una semana
On
trabajando
this
con él. En
case,
este caso, ¿qué puede
what is your
hacernos?
take?
On the case?
On lieutenant Geoffretor Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the lost gun, also losing his badge, that's all true. And he's been drinking on the job.
The man sighs deeply.
Then there's the boring cop issue. Despite all the obvious and almost grotesque mannerisms and sartorial choices, he still insists he isn't characteristic enough. It's It's worrying.
Preocupante,
Especially
en
in light
especial
of his
teniendo en
political
cuenta sus
views.
ideas políticas. El
Detective
inspector
Dubois
Dubois
is,
es, como
as you
sabrán,
may
un
know,
fascista,
a
un
fascist,
declarado
a
misógino,
far-right
de extrema
woman
derecha y,
hater,
por
and of
supuesto, un
course,
racista de
also
pro,
into race
lo cual para un
stuff,
agente de policía sacude
which
la
for a
cabeza no
police
es bueno.
officer, not good.
Todo esas cosas será.
Other still,
Aún más
he is
raro
also
también es
Hazardian
un
socioeconomist
masoviano
who believes in
socioeconómico que quiere
liquidating
acabar
the
con la
ruling
clase
class.
dirigente como
How he
concilia
reconciles these 2 points of
esos dos
view,
puntos de
I
vista
do
es
not
capaz
know.
de mi comprensión,
But he
pero se
is
pronuncia en
open
ambos
on
sentidos.
both of them. And then there's the
Y
motor
luego
carriage
está
in
el
the sea,
carruaje motorizado
and the
hundido en el
drugs,
mar y
of
las
course.
drogas, por
Some
supuesto.
kind of
Hay un medicamento
anti-radiation drug
antirradiación
used to
que
induce
utiliza para
visions.
inducirse visiones.
But despite all this, he is a great detective. One of the best I have seen, in fact. He can talk human
Es capaz de
beings into
sacarle a
telling him
cualquiera toda la
everything.
información que quiera
And
y
he
no
doesn't
descansa
stop.
en el
In all
tiempo
the
que
time
llevó
I've
con
spent
él,
with him, he has
ni
not
por un
once
momento ha
stopped
parado de
pursuing
rastrear
beliefs,
pistas por
however far-fetched and
por
tangential.
tangenciales o
He is
arriesgadas que fueran.
tireless,
Es
madly driven.
incansable, le mueve una especie de locura.
Well, except
Bueno,
that one
salvo por
time
aquella
when he
vez
stopped
que se
to sing
puso a cantar karaoke y fue
which, by the way,
por
I
si...
have to disagree with you, Mr. Vicmar, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
Okay, he did something.
Other than that one
Aparte de eso, ha
time,
estado
he has
trabajando en el
tirelessly
caso sin
worked on the
descanso y lo ha
case,
resuelto.
and he
Tenemos una
solved it.
confesión, un arma
We have
homicida
a
y el
confession,
perpetrador
a
atrapado,
murder weapon,
ahora mismo en la
and
isla
the
a la espera de
perpetrator,
transporte.
locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation.
Ha detenido a un revolucionario que se quedó rezagado y ha permanecido 50 años escondido desde la revolución, el cual es probable que haya cometido otros asesinatos a lo largo de los años. Se detiene. Y además ha descubierto... No.
A new species.
Un insecto colosal estaba en la isla camuflado entre los juncos. Se ha desplegado de entre los juncos. Creo que podría tratarse de un plasmido insulíndico. Creo que esas cosas no hacen falta decirlas. No es... Es que, bueno, en mi opinión, ¿no? Es que suena muy raro que lo diga. Muy, muy raro. Saca la foto del familia y le enseña a los policías a hace letra.
The wind blows, flapping the glossy rectangle in his hand. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind.
As you can see, it's about
3 metros de alto. De hecho, creemos que puede tratarse del invertebrado terrestre más grande que jamás se ha descubierto.
Fucking hell is that? Is
Ah,
this
sí, lo ha
somehow
visto.
connected to the case?
The killer did
El
not
asesino
seem to be aware of the phasmid's
mostraba
presence,
una demencia extraña,
exhibiting
atípica, y se ha
strange,
quedado
atypical
estupefacto cuando ha
dementia.
aparecido
He
casi
fell into a
catatónico.
stupor after its appearance.
Cuando ha aparecido
Became near catatonic.
casi catatónico. Puede que no se ha conectado per se, pero el perpetrador sabía su existencia.
So it is connected.
I must say,
Tengo que decir
this
que esto,
is
sí,
absolutely
ni
extraordinary.
siquiera tengo palabras para descubrir.
I don't even have words for it.
Yes. It
Sí,
really does make
esto
it
nos
hard to fire the
complica el
drug.
tema de darle la pata.
This is a very, very sad man who has just seen something that's made him forget his sadness. Now you make your case.
Ahora plantea tu versión de los
Now
hechos
is
para
the
mañana.
time. Now or never.
Para mañana es tarde, ahora o nunca. También encontró un hombre.
Yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk. Drunk.
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us.
Still, good work with the missing person, Detective.
This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open. In Martinez, where Evrard and Edgar Clare have ears everywhere.
And eyes, too. Your return from the island must not have gone unnoticed.
Understood, of course.
I would prefer not to partake in anything union-related, for political neutrality. Female? What makes you think so?
You had to see it. It had the subdued
Coloración de una
coloring of a
hembra y un
female.
comportamiento protector del
And
nido.
the nesting behavior too, I think.
Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest?
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
Yes. That would be a chiromone. A pheromone that's seemingly beneficial to the host. It usually stimulates the affected nervous system. Not a human's, of course, but perhaps a predator's. There are species of bees that, under the influence of chiromones, take
Llevan
most
larvas de
larvae to
avispas.
their hives. Ants do the same with aphids, thinking they're... Do you think this is how it stayed hidden?
Nothing is off the table.
Hay que considerarlo todo,
But,
pero...
I
Y,
want to stress this. The find does not have to be connected to the case. The case is 100% prosecutable, without any chiromones.
Of course, Lieutenant.
claro,
Of course. We should treat the case and the phasmid as completely separate from each other. People are not going to...
ve,
They're
crear.
not going to go for this speculation in the constabulary.
Creo que se produce.
As in cloning itself? What makes you think so? Interesting.
No, creo que no debí decir
Then it
eso.
is especially vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the entire species. We're probably talking conservation efforts here.
In his mind, he's
En su
already
cabeza ya se está
planned
formando un
adventures
proyecto de
with
reserva
birds and
natural.
kinds.
Hasta conoce a alguien para llevarlo a cabo. Tenía objetos guardados en su nido, un casco, no me...
Actually, you know,
De hecho, eso
this would
indicaría que...
indicate it was a
Oh,
male. This is far from
pero creo
anything
que
in
una
my
especie de
field,
niño
but I
sirve
think
como
such
reclamo
nests
durante el
are
cortejo.
called
Sí,
bowers.
tiene bastante sentido.
They are for attracting mates. Must be robust if
Es
it can move
arbusto
a
para
helmet with its limbs.
It could maybe roll it, like a dung beetle.
Yes, but also...
Con colores de
green
junco
color,
bello marrón y un
beige
poco de
and
verde en el
brown,
exterior.
little
Se desplegó a
green
partir de un
on the
solo
outside.
tallo que ahí le
After
colgaban.
unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs.
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No, that's too much.
This would really help with some of the problems we've been having.
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science,
Tres
news,
humanos sonríen.
human
La
interest.
fotografía es la
You
guinda
know,
del
it's
pastel.
a really good thing you have that photo.
Without it,
You're doing good here.
Lo estás haciendo bien, aunque solo sea por un momento.
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym. The custom started in Grad,
La costumbre
where they
comenzó en
have
Grad, donde
patrons,
tienen
Krasovich,
patronímicos,
Lasovich,
Krasovich,
etc.
Lasovich.
The
Los revolucionarios lo vieron
saw
como
this
un
as a chauvinist
atavismo
activism,
chauvinista
so
y
they
por
used
contra
patrons
utilizaron
derived from the mother's name
matronímicos derivados del nombre de la madre.
This man's mother
La
was
madre de
Lilian.
este hombre se llamaba
His
Lilian y el
son,
hijo de Lilian, Lilianovich.
The
La costumbre se
custom was
perdió tras el
overturned
fracaso de
after
la
the
revolución, pero no
failed,
antes de llegar a
but not
Rebachol.
before it made it to Revachol.
So,
Entonces algo así
Is what a
sería un
soldier
nombre
of the ICM would
verosímil
be
para un
called.
soldado de la MSI.
thank you, Trump.
Gracias, Trump.
Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was
Pensaba que era
noteworthy.
algo en cuenta. Con la esperanza de hacer estallar una guerra entre la compañía y el sindicato. En realidad no estoy tan seguro de...
And it worked? You got a war going?
Yes.
Sí,
Until
pero
we
la hemos
stopped.
parado. El teniente se da
He
prisa.
saw the mercenary as
Veía al
an enemy
mercenario como
combatant.
un combatiente
There's
enemigo.
plenty
Hay
for
bastante
prosecution
material
to
para la
pick from,
acusación, al
as
menos
far as motive is
en lo que al
concerned.
móvil se refiere.
Also, we have
Además, la
ballistics
balística
from the
del
gun,
rifle concuerda con la
matching the
bala que
bullet
se encontró en la
from the
cabeza
dead
del
mercenary's
mercenario
hand,
y dos
and
agentes
two
antes,
officers on the scene
ante lo
that
que el señor
Mr.
Dross ha
Dross
confesado.
confessed to.
it's a clean
Es
win.
una victoria, claro.
Oh, it's way more than that. Way more.
Es mucho para que eso recupere. Es mucho más que eso. Es mi obra maestra esto. He hecho lo que he podido.
I've never doubted you can pull yourself together and work in bouts. Bouts don't last. I can still smell the booze on the wind.
God damn it. It is bad. Even you can smell it.
Además he investigado el misterio de la zona comercial maldita.
I don't know what a doomed commercial area is. Why? That's not what you were supposed to do here.
Oh.
There was a possible witness in there.
Testigo.
It was close to the crime scene. He was just chasing a
Dice, y
lead
terminó
and ended
ayudando.
up advising a local shopkeeper. It was okay.
Of course. Call it community outreach, right?
Dodged the bullet there. For a moment it seemed like you were just wasting time.
Who's Kuno?
You don't want to know.
You're right, Lieutenant. I don't. You snorted the drugs, I know you did. It's alright. I mean, at this point, anything is but the drink. I don't want to,
No
but
quiero
you
hacerlo,
discovered
pero
the
eso
new
es que-
species and solved the murder. So I have to. Jude,
Honestly, anything that ends this trial is okay with me.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
Now you will finally get to know who you are. The man looks westward, impatiently, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry. Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but...
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we
Tal vez
maybe...
deberíamos.
Harry, it explains everything.
O
The
sea, el
running
tamaño
around,
de
the
tus bíceps.
jumping, the bicep
Se me
curves,
explica el vello
your
facial.
inexplicable facial hair. The fact that you don't seem to know what homosexuality is,
El hecho de que
and how
aparentemente
you
no
were able
sepa
to
qué es.
perform a 360-degree spin kick too.
Also, this guy. Just everything about this guy. And this guy, too. God, even this javelin throwing freak here.
In your 20s or late 20s, you've really let yourself go since then. Yes, you taught gym in Cool. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym teacher.
The smell of sweat and glue. The worn floorboards.
Off.
High school. Harry, your goings-on with Kuno, Andre, Acel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you are so juvie.
His smirk suggests barely contained laughter.
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight.
Oh.
Be more than you are. All that.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you were drunk.
Además eres un borracho.
You really went with it too. really maximized the damage.
Dora something. Dora Ingelund. Yeah, you mentioned the name.
Not Dora Dubois.
Something like that. Half Vazan. No one is married anymore. This is Revachol. God, I don't know.
6 años.
6 years ago, she was way before my time. Yeah, or 7. You're not doing
Es
too
cosa de
good
viejos,
there.
2 años.
It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora Ingelund really tore you a new one. A big one. Incredibly bangable. She was extremely fuckable, Harry. Gorgeous. A gorgeous bourgeois woman. Wayfish. Like a Welkin, basically.
Snow Welkin. Blonde Welkin. Heartbreak Welkin. Pain Welkin.
I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from.
Look, the sun is about to go down. It's time to go.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees order. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist? Go talk to that.
In other words, he's heard enough about this.
No. You're too unstable to work for a mob boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mob boss would take you.
I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit.
Us? We're the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? We're the bad guys. No one likes us.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You are just understaffed, and everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
Get back to it. We left Torsen and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good. Mac the Torso Torsen and Chester McLean. They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me. Things are shaky as it is.
They are damn iconic though, Torsen and McLean.
Yeah, not like us. 2 clinically depressed old men. Where's the contrast here? We are garbage. God. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me. Other losers too.
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price.
Uno
one
de
of
los
the
fundadores de la
founders of the
MCR.
RCM.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky.
Somewhere under
En algún
the
lugar
curtain,
bajo el techo
a
curvo de una
former
antigua
silk
fábrica de
factory
seda
shaped
con
like a
forma de
ladybird
mari,
with 2 chimneys.
con 2 chimeneas, el
Police
capitán de policía
Captain
Ptolemy
Tommy
Price
Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. Resident medic Nix Gottlieb pause. They speak of change, the city,
habla en cambio de la
the
ciudad de la
tension on the
tensión
streets. They speak of the events of
de la
April
sangre en
and the
las calles
blood
de
on
Madrid.
the streets in May.
So he remembers that. Yes, there may have been a raid on some churches. It wasn't good press.
Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear.
Our enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Your security clearance is shit tier right now. You have to wait for it to go up. Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there, hard, every day.
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Rivachol. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us.
The press will
La
blow
mala
up.
prensa.
Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it.
Thank you again, Lieutenant. Who is Lena?
Tabernacle? It's on the way over. Near where you live on Perdition.
Fine, if we're gonna drop you off anyway.
She and her husband were
Llevan a
conducting
cabo una
the search for
investigación sobre
the
el
Phasmid.
Phasmid en
It's
su
their
descubrimiento, al menos en
discovery.
parte.
They should know as soon as
Deberían
possible.
saberlo lo antes posible. No le vendría mal dar alguna buena noticia.
Positive news for a change. Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain.
Bueno, primero volveré a mi comisaría y escribiré el informe más detallado que nadie haya visto jamás. Tendrá que ser bueno para cubrir todo esto. Después tendré una seria charla con mi capitán.
Detective.
Inspector, acabamos de impedir una guerra a pequeña escala, algo que se cuece por Rebachol. Se levanta el cuello. La chaqueta mira a su alrededor. La fría luz primaveral se refleja en los cristales de sus gafas.
I don't know what yet. but
No
it's
sé
going
el
to
qué
be a
todavía,
hard
pero va a
spring
ser
for
una
the
primavera
MSR.
dura para la
We
MSR.
need to
Tenemos
get
que
ready.
prepararnos,
Infiltrate,
infiltrarnos, investigar.
investigate.
Distant traffic.
Tráfico lejano,
A
un
scrap of
trozo de
newspaper
periódico
drifts
flota en la
by,
deriva llevando por el
carried by
viento.
the wind.
Talk to Captain
Hablar
Price.
con el capitán Price, prefiere no
I'd
molestar a
rather
dos
not
capitanes
ruffle the
conmigo en la
feathers
red.
of two captains with my doom-mongering. Work with
Trabajar con Price,
Price?
una sonrisa torcida tiene sus
I'm
labios.
flattered, but I don't know if I...
This truly came as
Esto
a
le cogió por
surprise to him,
sorpresa y no una
Not a
mala,
bad
pero
one.
no lo tiene claro.
but he's at a loss.
Flattered?
En la gran-
Your Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first.
en GPIR.
I mean,
Pero sé lo que
whatever is
sea que nos
coming,
venga encima.
Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
And we also have a
También tenemos
huge
una enorme
caseload
cantidad de
now.
casos, teniente. Dice.
Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
I do like the
Me
sound
gusta
of
cómo
that.
suenas. Le devuelve la sonrisa.
He's really
Se lo está
considering it.
planteando de verdad.
Good.
Bien, te mira y luego
Fuck it, let's
luego
go.
vámonos.
Trump brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Under the afternoon
Bajo el cielo
sky,
vespertino, el distrito
the great
resuena, un
district
tablero de ajedrez de viejas casas de madera y chimeneas con 80.000 almas, edificios que no siguen la normativa antiincendios hasta donde alcanza la vista, desde la principal hasta la comisaría 41 y hasta la calle Boogie, que se bifurca hacia un horizonte cubierto de nieve.
Horizon. You close your eyes.
Cierras los ojos y oyes a los perros ladrar. Una mujer solitaria se sienta junto a la ventana de una fábrica mientras sueña con impactos de meteoritos. En la rue Saint-Jérôme, una bala cuadrada se desliza en una cámara idéntica, de idéntica forma. En el viejo sur, un hombre sin párpados sonríe. La primavera ha llegado, es la hora.
Spring has come. It's time. Torsen? Yes. McLean?
Thorson, sí. McLean, sí.
Yes.
Halberstam, no.
No. Vicmere?
Big Mare, no.
Yes.
Sí, Du Bois.
Dubois? Yes. Really?
¿En serio? Nick Gott levanta la mirada de la lista. He oído que es muy inestable. Lo dices como si eso fuera algo malo. El capitán Ptolemy Price hace un ademán con su bolígrafo. Su oficina está oscura y las cortinas corridas. Harry es nuestro hombre, lo superará y cuando lo haga estará del lado de Rebachol, entendido. Willis se centra de nuevo en la lista. ¿No?
Wonderful.
Maravilloso, la mujer mira hacia el norte y
Go
ahora
back to Jamrock.
podemos por favor volver. ¿Y ahora qué? Uf, pensé que me iba a disparar o algo. Uf. No lo paré en todo el momento porque pensé que iba a acabar en cualquier momento, pero me habría dado para otro día más y habría desperdiciado menos tiempo. Pero ya, buen juego, muy buen juego. Buen juego. Sí, la gente le suele decir que es GOTY 10 de 10. Me gusta mucho el método de narración, como esa voz profunda lo narra. Me gusta también esa clase de pensamientos que, que van por la mente del protagonista. Todo eso me parece muy interesante y me parece muy bien hecho. Tiene algunos momentos que sí no me agradan, y de vez en cuando el texto puede ser un poco tedioso, no mucho, pero sí, algunas veces puede ser un poco tedioso. Por lo demás, todo me parece bien. Uf. Bueno. ¿Cuánto? 4:46, ya. Nos vemos.